What is happening, friends? And thank you for tuning in to this special episode. Listen, I was just outside. I was doing the yard, getting the lawn done, doing all that good stuff, cleaning up from this crazy winter that we've had. It's finally nice out, and it hits me like a ton of lead that we are in the midst right now of the ROADIE Free Radio 6-year anniversary. That's right, this week, May 16th, 2022, 6 years ago, I launched the podcast. Another fun fact, it also happens to be my wife's birthday week, and I launched the podcast during her birthday 6 years ago and just let it slip out there into the ether. And man, it's been an incredible 6 years, and I just wanted to take a few minutes to make a video, make a podcast here episode to acknowledge all the amazing, life-changing experiences that this show has done for me. And so on that point, I have to thank all of you for listening, for watching over these last 6 years, for supporting the show, for helping to grow this community, for your enthusiasm for what we've been doing here. It really has made a difference and really created something that I never thought when I started this show was going to be possible, or that people were going to be that into, and you have been, and I can't thank you enough. And with that, of course, I've got to thank all of the sponsors over the years that have jumped on the show. Of course, Shure Microphones, Telefunken Microphones, Roswell Pro Audio, Show Pro Beard Co., Lens Rentals, the list goes on. And I just can't, One of One Productions, I can't thank you guys enough for your faith, and your Boulevard Carol. So they're all coming to me, man. Your faith and your passion about what you do and wanting to jump on board with us here with what we do at the podcast. And of course, finally, I've got to thank the fans and community out there. Actually, that's not finally. I got one more. I got to thank the fans and community out there for always tuning in and always sending great suggestions and great thoughts and whatnot. And finally, this is the final one. I've got to thank our guests, because as you know, this is a peek, behind the curtain, behind the scenes, under the hood, if you will. And most of these folks, they chose specifically not to be in the spotlight. And they are coming on this show and not only sharing their time and their energy, more importantly, I feel privileged because they are letting me into their world. And they have let me into their world behind the scenes at shows, from hotel rooms when they're on tour and whatnot, the back of a bus somewhere doing an interview, and then they have graciously let me stay and watch a show or invited me to a show afterward. And so for all of that, I cannot thank you enough for granting me access to your world. It really means a lot. I carry it as a privilege, and I hope that I've been doing you justice. I think I have, and so thank you very much. And I think the best way I can kind of sum up the amazingness of this story, and by the way, if you don't know the full tale of how this podcast started, I will refer you to a previous episode called From Roadie to ROADIE Free Radio, where I really break down the entire thing about making the short film Roadie and how it led to all this stuff. But I can probably best sum the whole thing up in one little story here. A couple of years ago, we went to our first NAMM show where the Magpie Salute was playing. And as you know, I'm a big Black Crowes fan, so the Magpie Salute, for those of you who don't know, was an offshoot of that. It was Rich Robinson and Mark Ford and Sven Pippian and some great Joe Magistro and John Hogg and just some great players and great people that all kind of came out of that world and created the Magpie Salute. And they were doing a show at the Vox, I believe it was, the Vox booth at the NAMM show. And Doug Redler, guitar tech, was there and told me to come down and check it out. And so we were there filming some stuff anyway for the podcast. And there I am standing in this awesome booth and watching the Magpie Salute. And it dawns on me that I am there as the podcast covering the Magpie Salute. And yet it was the Black Crowes where my film Roadie had access and ultimately led me to the Black Crowes, to Doug Redler, Drew Consalvo, Steve Walsh, Randy Brown, some killer people that have shepherded this whole thing through. And in that moment, I was just kind of overcome with like the amazing opportunity and experience that doing this show has led me to. And so that's why I always say, if you are thinking about starting a podcast, if you've been coming up with ideas and you're not sure where to start, or you want to start a YouTube channel, you want to start some sort of content or get creative and get your thing out there, do it. Do it now. Just pick a lane and go for it, because this thing has changed my life, man. Has it made me rich? Absolutely not. Am I driving Teslas around? Absolutely not. But I can tell you that it has made me rich with experience and with love from a community that I didn't know very well prior to this, and brought in some friendships that really mean a lot to me, and some people that have been very important to me over the last 6 years. So I just wanted to come on and acknowledge that, and acknowledge all of you, and thank you for this opportunity. It's been really amazing, and I look forward to the next 6 years, man, and I can't wait to have more awesome guests on. I really, each one of these shows is like my little baby that goes out there, and I'm so proud of it, and I'm so proud of everything that we've done here. So thank you so much for tuning in every week and checking us out, and like I said, sending suggestions and ideas and thoughts. It means a lot. Wouldn't be here without you. So as I always say, stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe out there. I'll see you down the road, and remember, no roadies, no rock and roll.